and how they worked best so that they could best fulfill their function. So, the way the teachers support this, along with this long time span, is they get together with the children once a week, and they make a plan about what are the things that each child is going to accomplish within the period of the week. This helps the child begin to judge. Well, if I just do what I like best, all of a sudden it's Friday, and I haven't gotten the other things done. But that's through a concrete experience of their own. It's not because some adult is telling them, okay, you need to do this now, you need to do this now, you need to do this now. They're having the opportunity to discover how it is that we budget time. But they have a very concrete structure that helps them to do it. They aren't just thrown into the environment and said, okay, go learn, you'll figure it out. There's a guiding structure that underlies the freedom that they have to experience. And the structure gives them something as a guideline, something that they can use as a benchmark to judge what's happening. So, as the child, and the child when they first start, in the first year, the 6-year-old, that child may have some struggles with learning to plan their time wisely. And they may find at the end of the week that they haven't accomplished everything that they'd set out to do. And they may find that they might have to do some stuff at home to finish it up. Or maybe they'll have to work on it extra the next week to accomplish it. Because everything does need to be accomplished. In the classroom for the 3 to 6-year-old, the child is free to choose what he wants to do, as long as he's not destroying it or disturbing someone else. And he's free to do nothing. In the elementary classroom, although the child is free to choose when he's going to do his work and how long he needs to take to do his work, he needs to do his work. And so that's a big difference between the 3 to 6 classroom and the 6 to 12 classroom. These children need to learn to use their time wisely. Another thing that we're expecting them to learn is to learn about themselves. What are their strengths? Where do they excel? And what are their weaknesses? Where do they need to work harder? Where do they need to get help from someone else? Again, that's another thing that's very different in a Montessori elementary classroom from what you would find in a more traditional school. The children are encouraged to help each other. It's not cheating. There isn't such a thing. They're encouraged to use, the child who's a good reader might go out and read the science experiment to a child who's still struggling, so that the child can do the science experiment. And the one who can do the reading well has the wonderful experience of acting as a teacher, as the guide, as the skillful one. And the one who's still struggling with the reading has someone who opens the doorway to that science experiment, and who also shows them how neat it is to be able to read, and what a good thing that is for it to happen. So they learn, okay, these are the things I'm good at, and these are the things I can share with the world. These are my gifts, these are my talents, and I use them to help my community. Because the Montessori classroom is very much a community. The children that have the opportunity to be the leaders in some areas will find themselves the followers in others. Because Montessori is so holistic, there are areas for each individual to excel. And each individual can be given the positive satisfaction of knowing that they were helpful. Maybe the child just a lot of trouble. Not only the reading is tough, maybe the math is tough too, but this is the child who knows where everything is in the classroom, and they notice when something is out of place, and they can say, somebody's looking around and saying, I can't find. They say, oh, I know where it is. Let me show you. So each one has their gift, and the community learns to recognize each person for what it is that they have to offer. And that's another reason why you'll find that we have these mixed age groupings in the Montessori community, is so that we aren't all the same age and we aren't being compared to each other. There will be somebody who can be your reading buddy and somebody that can be your math buddy. And they might not be the same person, but you'll be able to find somebody that's working at the same level that you are in different areas. So you don't have to feel like, oh, I'm behind, or oh, I'm just smarter than everybody. There's a whole different attitude that comes from the idea of being a responsible member of your community, where you're using your talents and your skills to share with others. When Montessori thought of the child, she thought very much that it was our job to understand that the child is in the process of formation, and we really want to be there to support that process. The child is father of the man, but truly that we need to support the process that's going on while growth is occurring. And so she really gave us the mission to be there for each child in a way that gave them the assistance that they need, and then stepped back and allowed them to take over. So again, that's why you'll see that all the children will be working with different materials at the same time. There are some great lessons that are given to the group as a whole, but these are again the things that spark the imagination. And then the individual can go off in the avenue that is of most interest to them. And then after they've done their individual research, they come back to the group and share. They bring, again, their gifts and talents to the whole. I mean, Montessori believed that everyone in the world has what she called a cosmic task. And that at this age, between 6 and 12, is the time for the child to begin to ask some very deep and philosophical questions. Like, who am I? Where did I come from? Why am I here? What do I have to offer? What is my role in this huge expanse of time that is the universe that we know today? So as the children are working with the different materials, as the children are looking at the timelines, they're beginning to figure out, gee, where do I fit? What is my place? What is my role? And Montessori felt that in order to have peace, and for her peace was a very personally important thing. She lived through 2 world wars. She felt that